Dude, what? I literally was just like, I saw the trade. Saw David Johnson getting traded to the from the Arizona Cardinals. It was well known the Cardinals wanted to dump his contract to the Houston Texans. I was like, you know what? David Johnson, 2016, might have been the best running back in the National Football League, right? And it's like, you look at the Houston Texans backfield. Lamar Miller's had to be a free agent. Carlos Hyde's almost 30. You do have David Johnson as a Duke Johnson as kind of a change-up receiving back. But I was like, man, maybe. It's expensive, but maybe a guy like David Johnson can turn it around. And then out of nowhere, they're trading DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals. If I'm a Houston Texan fan, what? The best wide receiver in the NFL going to... If you got Kyler Murray in your fantasy leagues, it's a keeper league. What? The best wide receiver, no character concerns. How old's he? Unless they're getting like a first-round pick. They have to be getting... There's no information. Obviously, it's still early. They have to be getting a first-round pick. They have to be. Have to be. Pick 8. They have to be getting pick 8. There's no way they're not getting pick 8. And if you're trading... Houston needs a general manager. Bill O'Brien has lost his mind. You give an insane, absolute insane amount of money and assets to get Laremy Tunsil. And I say money because they pretty much have no control over what the demand Laremy Tunsil has for his new contract. They give it for what they gave up, they're pretty much going to have to pay him whatever, right? And then they give away the best wide receiver in the National Football League. 600 receptions. 86, almost 9,000 receiving yards in 7 years. 54 touchdowns. Last 3 seasons, first team All-Pro. What? Quarterback-proof player, and you ship him out in his prime. I'm 2 months younger than DeAndre Hopkins. In his prime. I'm in my prime. I'm in my YouTube prime. And you send Nuck away. What is going on? Like Deshaun Watson on Suicide Watch. You got Kenny Stills, old. You got Will Fuller, who when healthy, very exciting. Can't stay. Like, they had to do something at pick 8. Like, are they going to send Deshaun Watson next? Is J.J. Watt on the trade block? What is going on? I'm sorry if you're a Houston Texans fan. There's no, what? I don't know. I honestly don't know what I feel sorry for Houston Texans fans. I think a lot of Texas fans are out of coronavirus. And I'm not even memeing, joking, taking a hot take. It's everything. I think there's Houston Texans fans that be like, will you take a belt with coronavirus for this trade not to exist? I guarantee you there's probably at least like 30 to 40% of the Houston Texan fan base would do that. DeAndre Hopkins, no character flags, right? Like, let me just see. He hasn't even been injury prone, really. He's missed 2 games in his career. 2 games. Like, the dish just, like, what is going on? Like, there's no way he wanted out of Houston. Houston's always you got everything there. You got a franchise quarterback, Deshaun Watson. You have compliments, assets around in Will Fuller when he's healthy, obviously a legit deep threat. Now you bring in a guy like David Johnson, who probably I'm assuming Arizona sent first, second, and David Johnson. I mean, obviously, as we're doing this, before I wrap this video up, we might be able to get what are they got? It's DeAndre Hopkins on a 4th round pick for David Johnson. What? DeAndre Hopkins and a 4th round pick to the Arizona Cardinals for David Johnson, a 2nd and a 4th. What the hell are the Eagles doing? What? I'm processing this live. That is robbery. Absolute robbery. This is a player with no issues, 100% worth whatever his contract is. Like, unless there's something behind the scenes where DeAndre Hopkins wants ridiculous money and he's getting ready to go full-blown Antonio Brown. What? And now The Philadelphia, every time we're going to talk these videos for players that potentially Eagles want. Philly would not trade a second. Cardinals gave a David Johnson second and a fourth. I would give up dumb thing. I would give up a first and a first, second, and fourth for goddamn DeAndre Hopkins. He's 27. He's in his prime. Sorry for coming off a little hot right here, but like now that I'm just processing it and understanding that is unless Bill O'Brien has a love affair with David Johnson, you know something we don't know. They got him on that Mexican supplements, and he is 100% going to return to that 2016 David Johnson. And he's almost 30. What are you doing, Philly? What are you doing? Absolute brutal. That is so brutal. I'm sorry, Texan fans. Congratulations, Cardinals. You're going to be on the up. You fix that offensive line. You can pretty much now go defense and offensive line in the draft. You have your quarterback. I assume Kenyon Drake's going to be back. You got DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk, Andy Isabella, Hakeem Butler. It's a dangerous team, man. DeAndre Hopkins is now a Cardinal, and it only cost David Johnson and a fourth-round pick. Or David Johnson and a second and a fourth. That is absolutely disgusting. But hey, maybe you'll get Larry Fitzgerald a ring. But I'll be back. The madness is only starting today. I actually almost feel a little nauseous, and it's not that CV. It's not COVID-19 that the Philadelphia Eagles didn't get in on this. Brutal.